Well, hi again. In this video, I'm going to be reading you 50 sentences that use intransitive verbs that we just learned in the last video. And I hope that by doing this, you'll be able to catch how I am grouping my words, how I'm hitting the intonation, how I'm saying subject, verb, slight pause, and then the other part of the sentence. And pay attention to these, try to catch it just by hearing, and try to repeat the words. The important thing is not that you're able to understand every word that I say, but just that you get the grouping and intonation correct. And if you need help, as I said, I suggest you just listen. And then if you can't understand something or you need more help on what something means, look in the show notes below, and I'll print every one of the 50 sentences in there, and you can listen and say, oh, is that what that word says? You might look up words in the dictionary. But right now, the important thing is the grouping and the intonation, because if you can learn how to group words and hit the correct intonation, your English ability will make a very big leap forward. This is especially true for Japanese people who tend to study English as a school subject and as a test subject, centered a lot on vocabulary. So they want to speak and listen one word, one word, one word, whereas native speakers speak in groups of words, like 3 or 4 or 5 words make one word. So you have to be able to develop your hearing ability in this regard, and even your speaking ability in this regard, to make yourself sound more fluent in the English language. So when I read a sentence, I'll give you plenty of time between sentences where you can try to repeat. Like I said, even if you can't understand completely, try to repeat. Try to use my pronunciation. Don't change my pronunciation. Some Japanese students will hear something, they'll say, what are you saying? And then they'll see it on the printed word, and then they'll change the pronunciation because that's what they learned in school. Avoid doing that. Try to get used to my pronunciation. My pronunciation is American pronunciation, different from British pronunciation, different from Australian pronunciation, but mine is North American pronunciation. Try to mimic my North American pronunciation. As I said, printed words are in the show notes below if you need them. So if you're ready, I'm going to get rid of my face and start reading. So let's go. 50 sentences using transitive verbs. Those dogs bark every morning. She lives in a quiet town. We go to California every summer. They ran towards the street. They walked a long time. You look sad. Jeremy slept all day. The train arrived 10 minutes late. May sings beautifully. The magician clapped, and the rabbit disappeared. The boy fell and hurt his knee. Mary cried when she heard the news. The kids eat in the afternoon. I run every day. The plan worked perfectly. She swims every Saturday. We go to the store on Friday. It rained yesterday. They coughed because of the smoke. When the policeman arrived, the robber ran away. The bomb exploded loudly. Some babies cry at night. The cat jumped high. Does the color fade with time? Some birds fly south in the winter. We exist in a strange world. She will arrive before 7. Such a strange thing does not exist. The car moved at high speed along the road. He sang all day. The young boy fell down and cried. He sneezed with a loud noise. We sat for an hour. Time flies like an arrow. Wood floats. It is raining. They smiled at each other. He sings in the shower. They run to school in the morning. He died 5 years ago. She slept for 10 hours last night. It snows every February. The pot fell to the floor. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. The truck turned left at the corner. The swan floated on the pond. My friend moved to Chicago. The church bell rang so loudly. The train stopped at the station. The ship sank into the sea. So how did you do? Could you catch them all? Did you need help? If you can't understand something, look below and you'll be able to see it. So if you have time, give me a like to this video. Make a comment. You know, it really helps if you do. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Ask your friends to subscribe so we can help our channel grow. And if it grows large enough, then I can do more and more of this. Otherwise, I got to work for a living so I can eat and pay my rent. But let's try to make this channel a good channel for Japanese speakers of English. And I'll see you again next week when I'll tell you about transitive verbs. See you then.